Hello everyone, my name is Hazel Basuki. My group and I will be presenting about stages of research.
Good day, I'm Jada Kawako and I'll be presenting on topic and introduction. The topic is what tells us what the research is about. It gives us an idea before reading the text. The topic is what captures the reader's eye and what lures them to read about your studies. The introduction presents problems and explains what the purpose of the research is. According to Fred et al. 2019, ideally the introduction is an essential attention-grabbing section of a research paper. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Masaba Busi and I'll be taking you through research problems and objectives. A research problem is an issue or a fundamental gap that a study aims to address. According to Food 2025, it arises when there is an absence or insufficiency of data, which limits the researcher's ability to derive a meaningful conclusion about a specific topic. There are different sources and methods for identifying and analyzing a research gap. The first one is citation analysis, content analysis reports, meta-analysis, systematic reviews, future research, and limitations.
Hello, my name is Lifika and I'll be doing hypothesis. A hypothesis is a provisional claim on the connection between two or more variables. Step 2, formulating a hypothesis. Determine the research question and area. Collect data and determine the variables. Create a preliminary hypothesis and the alternative and null hypothesis. Examine research methodologies. Components of a good hypothesis. It should specify the independent variables and the expected relationship between them. You must be precise with your language. A good hypothesis is always testable, which means you can prove or disprove it. Why a hypothesis is good is important in research. Gives focus and direction. A hypothesis is like an aim or goal for the research. It limits the study scopes and gives a clear direction. Avoids blind research. A hypothesis directs the researcher through the procedures that must be adhered to during the investigation. It prevents the researcher from gathering a large amount of data and conducting unnecessary research that would be useless. Explains a phenomenon. More details regarding the phenomenon in question become known with each test of a theory. Hypothesis testing, which provides empirical support, aids in the analysis of undiscovered features.
Hello, my name is Hazel Basuki and I'll be taking you through the literature review. So, a literature review is a summary analysis and evaluation of existing research writings on a particular topic. Instead of presenting new findings, it looks at what other scholars, researchers, or experts have already said, then organizes and discusses that information in a clear way. According to Lim and Ali 2022, a literature review is an overview of scholarly research in a specific field. A good literature review helps you understand what you already know about your topic. It helps you identify research gaps, things that have not yet been studied, and it also shows you how your work builds on challenges and existing knowledge.
I'm Tsane and I'll be taking you through research design. This is the overall structure that guides the process of conducting research. It is a great part of the research process as it is the blueprint for how a study will be carried out. There are 3 variations of research design, namely qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method research design. I'm going to move on to the components of the research design, and these include research objectives. This contains the goals and objectives of the research. Next is research questions or hypothesis. This is forming questions that address the objective of the study. Moving on to data collection methods. These are the different ways in which data or information will be connected. Examples of data collection methods are surveys, experiments, observations, interviews, or even a combination of these methods. Moving on to sampling strategy. This is the method used to collect a subgroup of people or objects from a larger population to take part in the research, allowing researchers to collect more detailed data to enhance the reliability of findings. There are 2 forms of sampling strategy, namely non-probability and probability sampling. Now I'll be handing over to Ms. Andimpo to take you through the second half of the research design. Thank you.
The next component of research design is data analysis plan. Data analysis plan is a structured outline that frames how you will process, organize, and interpret your research data, thus ensuring that research questions are addressed constructively. There are 2 types of data analysis, namely quantitative and qualitative data analysis. Ethical considerations. These are principles that govern the research process to ensure that the rights and well-being of participants are protected, therefore fostering trust. Timeline. A detailed plan that outlines every stage of the research process, allowing for appropriate project coordination. Resources. Includes a budget for all expected charges and a list of necessary staff in order to complete the research comprehensively. The importance of research design. Research design helps make correct decisions in every step of the study. A good research design enables the researcher to produce accurate, reliable, consistent, and valid results. Helps identify suitable data collection methods and eventually saves time and resources. Helps researchers identify potential limitations.
My name is Doris Sebeda and I'll be taking you through the discussion and the conclusion. The discussion as a stage of research writing basically focuses on giving in-depth of information of the research topic. It helps give full understanding of what the research is about. It can be used to point out patterns, trends, or unexpected results, and sometimes compare them with what other researchers found. The conclusion sums up what was discovered during the research. It highlights the importance of the research and summarizes the points of the research and can also suggest recommendations of the research.
I'm going to be presenting about recommendations. In research writing, recommendations are practical ideas that are taken straight from the results of your study to solve issues that have been found, close knowledge gaps, or suggest future steps, as reported by Nicholas 2025. They need to be precise, understandable, doable, and closely related to your findings. Characteristics of effective recommendations. Evidence-based. Your research results and conclusions must directly support and bolster any recommendations you make. Practical. Instead of just stating general ideas, they should provide concrete suggestions for actions that can be taken. Achievable and realistic. The recommended actions should be possible and sensible within a practical environment. Targeted. Address certain people, groups, organizations that can put their suggestions into practice and customize them for your audience, including colleagues in your industry.
I'm going to be presenting about how to write research recommendations. Firstly, we have to understand the research question. Before creating recommendations, understand the research question and the objectives. Additionally, ensure that your recommendations are relevant and explicitly address the study goals. Secondly, we have to examine the current research. We should learn about relevant recent research to help identify gaps and provide well-informed recommendations that help improve the current state of the field. Then, we have to consider research methods. We have to evaluate how well different research methods address the study question. Additionally, consider the study design, the specific objectives, and the data characteristics. Then, limitations and ethical ramifications. Acknowledge any limitations and potential moral dilemmas associated with the study. To ensure responsible research, address these constraints as well as ethical concerns. Lastly, we have to justify your suggestions. Explain how your recommendations address the goal or research question. Provide a convincing argument to help researchers understand the importance of following your advice. That was the end of our presentation.
Thank you.